dead, gone, 6 feet under, maybe 12 feet under. The Pac-12 is done. Here's why.
You are Locked On Baylor, your daily podcast on the Baylor Bears, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome into Locked On Baylor. I am the owner of Naturally Raised Eyebrows from Sports Illustrated's Inside the Bears. Thank you for making Locked On Baylor your first listen every single day. Hope you had a great work week, and thank you for watching this show and making it your first listen every single day. I get it. It's kind of poppy to say that the Pac-12 is dead or that it is dying. It is also objective because this league, the ones who are trying to get into sponsorships, this is just the breaking news today. It's flooring me. I'm flummoxed. The league that has been in talks with the CW, home of Riverdale and Lois and Superman, is rumored to have little chance of moving forward with the CW. So the whole segment I did on Wednesday about how this league was going to be featured after reruns of One Tree Hill, that is now out the window. Now it is boo-choo. We bring you back from Hell's Kitchen. It is California, the Golden Bears against the Washington State Cougars. Your score is -3-4 with 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Tonight on the Food Network, more Hell's Kitchen, The Martha Stewart Show, and Paula Deen's Southern Cooking. That on the Food Channel. The Food Network is where the Pac-12 is going to be at this point. Like, dude, you got to be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. When you've gone through, you've exhausted your list. Nobody looks at the CW first and says, hey, yeah, I could see myself with the CW. Live Golf is doing it, and it's going to go terribly for Live Golf, and I hope it does, by the way. The Pac-12 then is settling for the CW. This is not because the Pac-12 turned down ESPN, by the way, or Fox Sports or Amazon Prime, which would still be bad, but better than the CW. This is because the CW, not known as a very prominent network in broadcasting, period, probably not doing too hot. CW's ratings probably aren't great. So they've taken on Live Golf to hopefully boost those a little bit. And, maybe the Pac-12 could help. No. It seems as though the CW now has passed on the Pac-12. Who's not going to pass on this league at this point? And what does that mean? There are teams up for grabs. I want to be clear. I'm not trying to bury the Pac-12. This is not a very active effort from yours truly that I hate this league for some reason. I am a little upset about the way they've treated schools like Baylor in the past. A lot of the member institutions of the Pac-12 effectively refused to compete with Baylor in the same conference. This was a big thing a couple of years ago. And the Pac-12, they were the schools that were dancing on the grave of the Big 12 a couple of years ago when Texas and Oklahoma announced they were leaving and the future of this conference was up in the air. I do have those grudges against this league, but I don't hate I'm not trying actively to bring this league into the ground. Instead, the Pac-12 is actively trying to bring the Pac-12 into the ground. The current business model this conference is utilizing is one that I like to call unprepared and nonsensical. Now, the reason I'd like to say that is, when is the last time that you saw a new business coming up? They're going to do a cold open for this business. My grandma did this with her restaurant about 10 years ago. What she did is she said, we're going to open up from May 12th to May 19th. And when we do that, if you have this card, this little blue card, you get a free meal at my restaurant. Now, it's a great idea because folks came from all over to get this blue card, get a free lunch for 1 week, and then guess what they did the next week? They came right back to pay to eat at her restaurant because it was good food. The Pac-12 said, look, give it some time. We're going to sign a TV deal. We're in talks for a big TV deal, the biggest you've ever seen at ESPN or Fox Sports or somebody big, obviously. And we'll do this little thing, we'll sign it by Christmas, sign it by December. Well, guess what? December came around. You already told us when your cold open was going to be. You already told us the Pac-12 when you were going to get the ball rolling on this thing. And guess what? You didn't do it. You didn't do it. You didn't show up for your own cold open. So you pushed it back. You pushed it back and said, "All right, we'll do our cold open in January. We'll sign a contract in January with somebody." We're talking with Fox Sports, with CBS. We've got Amazon Prime on the phone. Worst case scenario, this whole like YouTube TV thing is here as well. We do Pac-12 After Dark on YouTube. Maybe it could be big. Well, January comes around. We're waiting for your big open. Pac-12 doesn't come. Well, now we'll do it in February, or maybe we'll do it in the spring. We'll do it in the spring. How about that, folks? It is April 14th, Friday, April 14th, and still nothing from the Pac-12 on a TV deal. Guess what has to happen? Guess what has to happen for these leagues to generate substantial revenue? TV deals, television, public relations, sponsors. There's so much. There are millions of dollars that are being that don't exist. You know what? They just don't exist because no one will give them to the Pac-12 in a media rights deal, because the Pac-12 is not something that ESPN wants to stick its neck out. It's not a product that ESPN wants to stick its neck out to put on its network. So when's the last time you saw a healthy business model, a healthy franchise that was spreading across an area, push back a cold open, and then push it back again, and then push it back again, and then push it back again, because they were healthy? I've seen so many of these media members of the Pac-12 that they keep saying, like, the Pac-12 is doing this on purpose. There's something big happening in the background, and it's just not true. It's just not true. It's what you would say if you're the business owner that keeps having to push back your grand openings. Like, oh, we're only doing it so we can be double prepared. There's more extra stuff coming we weren't ready for. And it's never that way. It's because you're unprepared. It's because you don't have a general plan for what you want to do moving forward that is significant. It is becoming obvious to everyone paying attention to this that the Pac-12, George Kliavkoff, has no idea where to go from here. And that means, I take you back to a quote. The Pac-12 commissioner said not too long ago that they were going to go effectively shopping for Big 12 teams. They were going to start hunting Big 12 country for who they were going to pick up and take to the Pac-12. Obviously, that has not happened. At this point, best case scenario for that league, they will see San Diego State, Fresno State, Boise State. Maybe at this point, they'll take Cal Baptist in Northern Arizona. Gosh, that'd be great for those little universities, wouldn't it? What about now? Does that mean if the Pac-12 did not go hunting, did not go shopping for other teams, which, again, instead of expanding, the Pac-12 has actually lost its two biggest brands, and there are other brands that are talking about leaving. Instead of expanding, there are now other leagues, a la Big 12, that are in line to shop the Pac-12. And the first team off the board after what we've seen this week, the Colorado Buffs and Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders will be playing on TV. I promise you, Deion Sanders, I promise you that means something to Deion Sanders. So it's going to happen. Who's going to join the Colorado Buffs and come to the Big 12? Well, first I'll tell you about Built Bar. Oh, guys. Here's a lint roller. This is a Gain. It is a Gain Evercare lint roller. It's scented. Oh, whoa! What does it smell like? What? You ever seen a scented lint roller? What on earth? Oh, hints of orange, nodes of orange there. Why don't you like this lint roller? Roll your way down to your local Sam's Club or your Walmart and get you a box of Built Bar. My favorite is the Built Bar Coconut Almond Puffs. Coconut almond puffs are spectacular. It's like an almond joy, if you like almond joy. Some people say I'm crazy for liking those. I don't think I am. These bars, these puffs at Built, they are healthy and they taste amazing. They taste so amazing that you won't even think they're good for you. You've got to try it to see what I'm talking about, because you'll taste it, you'll go, oh, this is bad for me, but it's not. It's 100% real chocolate. There's real dark chocolate. They have cookies and cream, churro, peanut butter brownie, and it's 17 grams of protein. Only 4 grams of sugar, and only 130 calories. I could eat this Titleist golf ball right here. I have a Titleist golf ball. And it probably is more than 130 calories. That is more than Built Bar. So what you need to do is you need to go to your local Walmart, your local Sam's Club, roll on down there while you can get specialty flavors at built.com as well. So you got 3 big options to get them. 4 bar boxes of cookies and cream or double chocolate bars at Walmart, or 13 bar boxes of the brownie batter puffs or the churro puffs at Sam's Club. You can thank me later. Head down to Sam's, go to Walmart, go to built.com, get you some Built bars. All right. I love it. I again, don't want it to seem like I have this weird vendetta against the Pac-12. But I love the fact the death of the Pac-12 is going to be so significant for the Big 12. I truly believe the Big 12 conference is going to get much stronger because they will resorb Pac-12 teams that cannot sustain themselves within a conference that is yet to have a TV deal, that is yet to have significant conversations of expansion, and a conference whose teams are actively trying to jump out of the league. Literally, you are in a league, Deion Sanders, if you're listening, where the CW has turned you down. They're like the 23rd best rated broadcast network in America, the CW is. And they just said no to you. You'd already been slated to the whole Pac-12 After Dark thing. Let's play these games really late and see who's watching on the East Coast. And no one was watching. No one's showing up to these games. So the teams that actually have a shot at having good revenue from sports and the possibility of being good TV, your Colorados, thank you, Deion Sanders, the Utah Utes, who have been to a couple straight Rose Bowls, your Oregons and Washingtons, those are the teams that are going to head somewhere else. I made a case on Wednesday that Oregon and Washington won't head to the Big Ten. I could see why they would. I could see why the Big Ten would want to poach moving further west, create a division out in the West with USC, UCLA, and then Oregon and Washington. I still don't think that's going to happen, because even though those brands are fairly significant brands in Washington and Oregon, there's just that aura of Big 12, right? Coming from the Pac-12, that USC and UCLA will not allow other Pac-12 teams. Like, you're not on our level. There's going to be a tough conversation when it comes around to the Big Ten wanting to expand. And I don't think, especially with USC and UCLA over there, I don't think these schools are going to come together and say, yeah, let's make it Oregon and Washington. Instead, it's going to be your Notre Dames. Notre Dame's going to be the biggest one to go after. They have they have a TV deal within themselves, NBC, that has kept them unaffiliated from a conference for so long. And if you're the Big Ten and can get that, that is huge. Heck, if the Pac-12 got Notre Dame tomorrow, it would save their league. Notre Dame has that much pull when it comes to the media. So to me, these Pac-12 teams going to the Big Ten are not going to allow. They're not going to be cool with Oregon and Washington following suit. Hey, we're better than you. Get those two out of here. So now the Big 12 and Brett Yormark will be completely open to the idea of teams like Oregon and Washington coming to the Big 12 and adding teams that aren't Pac-12 teams but have become significant brands in college athletics, such as your San Diego States, Fresno States, and even your UNLVs. Not to say they're going to be Big 12 teams. We've already heard conversations between the Big 12 and Gonzaga. This is not a commissioner, Brett Yormark, who's going to stop at a Oregon or at a Washington and say, okay, we're good. That's it. The expansion will continue. The money will continue to roll in as long as this league can make it happen. And when you're talking about the CW turning you down, you're telling me Oregon, Phil Knight, the Nike money, you're telling me those administrators want to stay in your league. That money, the trajectory that you've given, your grand plan of having a media deal, you have now fallen flat on your face and look like a clown to the rest of the country. And you're telling me Oregon and Washington want to be a part of that. I can tell you they don't. As a Big 12 fan, I am excited to see Baylor play Oregon in a regular season matchup in the next 5 years, because there is no way, if the Pac-12 continues on its current trajectory, continues doing what it is currently doing, that Oregon stays in the Pac-12. Even if Oregon doesn't go to the Big 12, they will find a different conference with their ish together, because Oregon is a big brand. Nike is tied to Oregon. They can't just tread water in the Pac-12 anymore. Washington won't either. They're in Seattle. They're in a big city, a big college football market at least. It's not a college town. Sure, the fan base could be more passionate. Yeah, I'll give you that. True, it's Seattle, not a college town. Tough to get a really great fan base there, but they've got a lot of money at Washington. Their endowment is great. There are Pac-12 teams like that have these national brands or big endowments that cannot continue to sustain themselves in the Pac-12. They need to go somewhere else. They want to go somewhere else and make money and have a profit and have sustainability. If I'm an employee, I talked about it earlier, these businesses, this new business that you've started, your opening day. If I'm an employee and you told me my opening day, if I'm an employee, if I'm the Oregon of the Pac-12, your cashier, you told me opening day was May 12th, and then it's June 12th, and then it's August 15th, and before you know it, it's December. Do you think I still want to work for your company? Do you think I find security in what you're doing here? No, especially when the other company down the street, they're hiring. The Big 12 is hiring, and it's got to really help. They just hired. It's funny. They lost two of their corporate leaders. They did. They lost two C-suite guys. The Big 12 did. Yep, Texas and Oklahoma. But here's a good thing. The two C-suites guy, they left. The C-suite guys left. We were organized a little bit at this company, and we hired 4 new executives, 4 to do the job of 2. And you know what? Maybe we'll lose a little bit of money off of that, but long-term success and people that want to work for our company, we're going to do great. And the Pac-12 teams see that. I, as the cashier, who I've made myself, I see that. I want to go work for the company that has health, sustainability. So when the people on Wednesday are like, oh, is this clickbait? Clickbait. Sure, maybe, but it's also just kind of the way that things go. This is kind of facts. I'm taking finance classes. It's what happens. If something's not making money, it shuts down. It doesn't work. It doesn't sustain. It goes away. So as a Big 12 fan, get ready, buckle up. As Brett Yormark, get ready and buckle up. You are going hunting for whatever the hell you want in college athletics. You want Oregon, go get Oregon. Washington, Arizona State. Build your wish list. Build your shopping cart. Why not? If the CW has turned down the Pac-12, what is going to keep these teams? Literally, try to explain to me why Oregon would want to stay in the Pac-12. Paint you another picture. I'm a recruit now. I'm a cashier / recruit. I'm a 17-year-old. And I play quarterback. I'm a very good quarterback, by the way. I'm a 5-star. I play quarterback. And a recruiter comes and sits in my living room from Cal. Now I'm getting offers from Arkansas. I'm getting offers from Auburn. I've got an offer from Wake Forest. Recruiter from Cal comes and sits in my living room and says, hey, now, son, you can be a Pac-12 football player. Nobody gives a crap. There's not a brand keeping the conference together. Somebody comes from Texas Tech and says, you, son, can be a Big 12 football player. People really don't care. They don't really care. ACC, you be an ACC football player. SEC and Big Ten are the only two that truly have that kind of brand in college athletics. I say that to say Oregon has what reason for loyalty to the Pac-12? For what cause would Oregon want to stay in the Pac-12 if it's not sustainable? Texas Tech. If the Big 12 wasn't sustainable, then Texas Tech would want to go somewhere else, to the SEC, to the ACC, to the Big Ten, not the Pac-12. They're not sustainable at all. That's the problem here. It may sound like clickbait to you, but it is simple. It is simple math. If one organization is not making money, that organization will cease to exist. If an organization is a public relations driven organization, which is the Pac-12, you need significant viewership to keep your ship afloat, and you're not getting significant viewership, your business is going to shut down. And that's exactly what's happening to the Pac-12. They keep putting off their opening day. They keep putting off the big one and saying that it's not for health issues, saying there's still a healthy conference, but also that they're having small package talks. If you have a small package, you're probably not happy about it. Small packages don't compete with the big dogs. Small package for you, small TV package for you, Pac-12. Not going to do you very well. Sorry about your bad luck. Pac-12 has its days numbered. they have the days numbered, because what's going to change? We haven't seen any trajectory. The Big 12 acted fast when Texas and Oklahoma left. The Big 12 stayed together, and the Pac-12 has had months to give these universities any semblance of security, and the league has not done it. Colorado's not going to put up with that. Oregon's not putting up with it. Washington's not putting up with it. They're done. Thank you. I'm not done with this show this week. I'm going to have a lot. Well, this week I am, I guess. I'll have more shows next week. Hope you enjoyed it, by the way. If you want to hire me, you can. This has been, it always will be. Thank you for making it your first listen every single day, especially for one of those new listeners who just clicked on it because you thought it was clickbait. It's not. It's not. This has been. It literally always will be. It always will be. Locked On. Thank you again for making it your first listen every single day. Baylor.